We can expect fireworks at the guard on that date.
Not entertainment. Not entertainment. Not entertainment.
The cameras were rolling. The crowd was already loud. But nobody expected the first face-off between Jake Paul and Anthony Joshua to explode into complete chaos within seconds. What was supposed to be a calm promotional moment for the rematch suddenly turned into one of the most intense confrontations boxing fans have seen all year. Jake walked onto the stage smiling confidently, talking trash before the face-off even started. But the moment he stepped inches away from Joshua, the entire energy changed. AJ didn't back down. He stared directly into Jake's eyes with that cold heavyweight intensity, and fans instantly knew this rematch was personal. Then everything went off the rails. Jake reportedly shoved first. Security rushed in, microphones dropped, and fans near the stage started screaming as both camps exploded into a heated argument. For a few terrifying seconds, it looked like punches were actually about to fly live in front of the media. Anthony Joshua's team had to physically hold him back while Jake continued yelling across the stage, daring AJ to finish it. Now, social media instantly erupted. Clips of the confrontation spread everywhere within minutes, with fans debating whether the chaos was real hatred or the greatest promotion stunt boxing has seen in years. Some viewers claimed Joshua looked genuinely furious, while others believed Jake purposely pushed him to create viral drama before the rematch announcement becomes official. But one thing is certain. This fight suddenly feels very different from the first one. Sources close to the event are already hinting that both fighters demanded stricter security after the incident, and insiders say the tension backstage was even worse after cameras stopped rolling. If this is how the first face-off ended, fans can only imagine what the final press conference will look like. One question is now taking over the boxing world. Has Jake Paul finally pushed Anthony Joshua too far? Or is this exactly the chaos both fighters wanted before the biggest rematch payday of their careers?
I know my boundaries. I want to fight Anthony Joshua exclusive because I know that I will beat Anthony Joshua's ass.
The argument gets worse when Paul's old rival Tommy Fury sends back a mean message. Fury was the first person to lose to Paul. No one thought this fight would happen. Would Jake Paul be able to fight Anthony Joshua in 2026? The internet is furious because Paul drew attention to a possible fight with the two-time heavyweight champion. This made people even more angry than when he announced his fight with Mike Tyson, while boxing fans, analysts, and purists call the idea a dream. The cool, surprising answer from Joshua.
I know
he just got knocked out, right?
Yeah, he doesn't have a chin and he has no skill and he's stiff. And I love you, Anthony. We're friends, all this, but I want to fight you.
Has just made things worse. Is this just a PR stunt, or could Paul really be facing one of the biggest names in boxing? Jake Paul isn't just talking. He's making people think. The boxer turned YouTuber didn't wait to start a fight by sharing a picture of Joshua on the phone, which led to rumors and criticism of AJ's chin and level of skill. Paul was ready to give Joshua his full attention, but an old enemy chose to ruin the party. Tom Fury comes in. He is the one who gave Paul his only competitive loss. Fury quickly reminded everyone of his win by saying that he beat Paul even though his hand was broken. He made it clear in a mean social media post that Paul had no right to fight a top-level heavyweight when he couldn't even beat him at full strength. Just to make things worse, Fury told him about Paul's latest try to get him to come back to the ring.
We always want to see that, don't we, at the end? And that is what we did see. I thought with Fury, basically, the rounds he won was when he picked up and was nice and busy with his jab, like he was.
Fury says Paul's team offered him a repeat for $6 million, but he turned it down right away, saying he had already made more money in their first fight. In order to avoid starting a new fight, Fury told Paul to focus on getting revenge for his loss instead of calling out better fighters like Joshua. Different feelings have been expressed by the boxing society. True fans think it's crazy that Paul would fight Joshua and call it yet another money grab. Some people are interested in the idea of the biggest boxing crossover ever. Could the fight really happen? Paul just got off of a huge win over Mike Tyson, which broke Netflix records, and Joshua is always looking for big fights. Jake Paul is a great way to get people to talk, whether they like him or not. And if Joshua really wants to fight, it could be one of the most heated fights ever. Let's talk about numbers, since Jake Paul thinks business is just as important as fighting. Whether you like him or dislike him, you can't deny that he's very good at turning debate into money. His amazing fight with Mike Tyson was more than just a show. It shattered expectations and has been watched an amazing 60 million times on Netflix.
Good morning, guys. Just wanted to give a little opinion on everything I've been seeing on social media lately. JakePaul versus AnthonyJoshua. Just wanted to come in here and remind.
Just that one event showed that Paul isn't just playing the game, he's changing it. So, is this possible fight between JakePaul and AnthonyJoshua just another smart business move, or does Paul really want to fight a top heavyweight? One thing we can learn from past is that Paul knows how to sell a fight. He has carefully planned out his boxing career, choosing opponents who will help him build credibility and keep people excited. His 5-fight winning streak against big names like Mike Perry, Nate Diaz, and Tyson himself shows that the competition is getting tougher all the time. But would you name AnthonyJoshua? This is a big improvement. Of course, Paul had thought about fighting a professional fighter before. Paul thought about going to war with Canelo Alvarez, but just as things were looking up, the Mexican hero decided to go in a different direction. He signed with Turki Alalshik, a Saudi consultant who is known for setting up some of the most important fights in modern boxing. This mischance made Paul look for another big opponent, and it looks like AnthonyJoshua is the next person he wants to fight.
2-minute rounds. Tyson's wanting to see more action. Babota, Evander Holyfield, you get the gist.
And everybody was saying,
As expected, the boxing world is now split. Real purists, on the other hand, don't think that a former YouTuber should fight a former heavyweight winner. They think it's crazy for Paul to take on a boxer like Joshua, who has faced legends like Vladimir Klitschko, Andy Ruiz Jr., and Alexander Usyk. These people say that Paul hasn't proven himself against real top-level fighters because he lost to Tommy Fury. Then there's the other side. People who like a good story about an underdog. They see Paul as a troublemaker who has changed fighting in ways that no one saw coming. It would be one of the most important crossing events in sports history if he could get a fight against Joshua. And let's be honest, who wouldn't watch to see if Paul could back up what he said? Even with all the excitement, Tommy Fury, still Jake Paul's most dangerous opponent. He's more than just another Vos. He's the only person who has ever beaten Paul in a professional fight, and he's making sure no one forgets that. In February 2023, Fury beat Paul in a split decision, which was the problem child's first loss.
Everybody, that bum couldn't beat me when I basically had a broken hand. I had one hand and he still lost. JakePaul, I'm still your daddy, and everybody weighing this fight up, don't bother, because he ain't worth a shilling. And the loss will always be there, Mr. Paul. Take it easy and have a good day.
Later that same year, he added KSI to his list of accomplishments and won again before getting hurt in the hand and missing the rest of the season. Even though Fury hasn't been around much lately, his comments are still strong, and his most recent attack on Paul shows that he has no plans to let his old enemy change the story. Paul may be after AnthonyJoshua, but Fury wants to fight again and is telling everyone that Paul needs to finish leftover business before going after heavyweight champions. Right now, it's not possible to tell if JakePaul versus AnthonyJoshua is a real chance or just another publicity stunt. But one thing is for sure, Paul has once again made boxing fans talk. Did AJ know how angry Paul would be if he got into the ring with him? Could JakePaul do something impossible and beat a big heavyweight? Is this another plan to keep his name in the news? This fight is already must-see event, no matter if it's true or not. People know JakePaul knows how to push the limits of what's possible, or at least what people are willing to pay to see. His bold challenge to AnthonyJoshua has split boxing fans into two groups: those who think the idea is crazy and those who are excited about the possibility of a show like nothing ever seen before in the sport. To be honest, Paul calling out Joshua seems almost silly from a fighting point of view. Joshua is a two-time heavyweight winner who has won many world titles and spent years beating the best boxers. In the meantime, Paul is making success by managing a group of retired MMA fighters and old legends. There is a big difference in their level of knowledge, skill, and raw physicality. Joshua has only fought in the heavyweight division his whole career, while Paul has fought in much lighter weight classes. It's almost silly to think that Paul would be able to beat AJ, who is 6'6". But Joshua hasn't ruled out the thought completely. He replied,
Throw the right hand off the back of it. He kept the distance when he did that, then you made it really hard for JakePaul. The rounds that Paul won, Fury kind of neglected that.
His answer is short, to the point. and enough to back the ongoing suspicion. What did AJ really mean when he talked about Paul being surrounded by a circus? That is the real question. Even though AJ may be thinking about it, the boxing world is still not sure about it. Some people say that Joshua versus Paul would be more of a media show than a real fight, with the goal of going global and getting a lot of people to buy pay-per-views instead of really competing. Even for fans who like stories about underdogs, the clear matchup is hard to miss. One more person is Tommy Fury, who is totally confused as he watches all of this. After all, it was him who caused Jake Paul's only job loss. Fury has been very clear about putting an end to the rumors about this possible match, telling everyone Paul should focus on getting another fight with Fury instead of going after other top heavyweights. Paul's camp allegedly offered Fury $6 million to fight again, but Fury flatly turned them down, saying he made more money in the first fight. No matter how true it is, Fury is clearly not impressed by Paul's rise through the ranks. In the end, is this fight really going to happen, or is it just a marketing stunt? On the one hand, Jake Paul has done things in the past that seemed impossible. When he first started fighting, people laughed at him, but now he hosts pay-per-view events, fights real fighters, and even has one of the biggest streaming deals in the history of sports entertainment. He's already fought some big names, like Mike Tyson and Nate Diaz. Is it really that unlikely that he'll meet Joshua? In boxing, on the other hand, there are rules, grades, and a long history of fighters moving up the ranks. Many sports purists think that a fight with Joshua would go against these customs and be disrespectful to the sport. There will only be one winner in the fight, even if AJ wins. Joshua would be a scary matchup because of his size, strength, and knowledge. On the other hand, maybe that's what makes this fight so interesting. They might want to see Paul get into trouble. Perhaps they want to see if he can handle one of the best giants of his time, or if this is the moment when he is finally put down. That being said, this fight is more about fun than fighting, and as long as there's money to be made, everyone will be watching. What do you think? Is Jake Paul really onto something, or is the fight just another fantasy that gets too much attention? Should you watch Paul versus Joshua? Leave your thoughts in the comments. Okay, guys, if you want to know about the newest boxing news, moments, events, and actions, subscribe to Knockout Updates and turn on alerts. You'll never miss out on great information again. Also, check out our other videos. Take care until we see you again.